February 16th, 2015. And what I was saying is that kind of one thing led to another at his house. And I do think that I was possibly under the influence of something, but I'm not sure. And if I was, I don't remember what it was. So then something happened with him again, and I do remember that I had said I didn't want to, and then at some point I just stopped talking, and I remember I felt kind of out of it, like, you know, my head was killing me, and this thing was happening, and then I remember when I fell asleep really, really hard, and for some weird reason, every time I fell asleep at his house, it was like I went into a coma. Like I slept extremely hard. I think anything could have happened while I was sleeping, and I would have had no idea what was really going on, because I had this really bizarre feeling that I was so knocked out, and I was sleeping so soundly whenever I was at his house that I really started to wonder if he was then getting up from his bed, doing all kinds of things. I mean, like, who knows what, and I had no idea because I was so knocked out. I mean, this one time that I was at his house, as I said, there were two men leaving the other room who had been in the house. And I got kind of scared because I thought, you know, were they in this bedroom when I was sleeping or knocked out, and did they do something to me? Because I wasn't sure. And I just thought, why are they in this house, or this apartment? And so then in the morning, he actually then pulled another government, definitely another government kind of organized thing that the government had done with me and experimented on with me when I was a kid. And it's something that his dad specifically did when I was a kid, over and over, in programming me and grooming me, and using things to trigger my reaction and response to make it look like I was willfully doing things on my own. Like I was, with this one thing that they programmed me to do, kind of made me look like I was the aggressor when I wasn't. But that's how it looked. And I think that possibly the reason Mike wanted to do that the next morning was because he knew that he didn't have like full legal consent for some reason from the night before. Like something about what had happened, I think he felt guilty about, or maybe some other thing from the past he felt guilty about. And so I think he wanted to pull out this other, or either it was that and he wanted to use this government technique, or he just wanted to use some other government technique and let these government people get off on that. And it's getting dark in here because it's later in the day. So so then this government thing that he did next was to something that I've already described that I had to do when I was a kid, with like a gun to my head often. And it was the thing where they'd drop a condom on the ground. A man would be standing there, usually like by the refrigerator or something, and it was kind of a programmed thing that came up from the milk for blowjobs stuff that they did to me when I was really little. So like, if I was hungry and I wanted my bottle of milk from the fridge, I'd have to give them a blowjob, and then they'd give me my bottle. And then from there, when I was older, they started using other kinds of codes and triggers, and they wouldn't necessarily give me a bottle of milk, but they would maybe stand next to the refrigerator where this other stuff occurred. So there was still this subconscious trigger of what I was supposed to do there. And I remember before he did this thing, I had gotten up and gone to the kitchen because I needed a drink of water. So I went to the kitchen to get a drink of water and just grabbed this plastic cup thing that I saw that was out on the counter. And he said, "What are you using?" And I told him, and he said, "Don't use that." He said, "That's my bottle for making milkshakes, or my bottle for shakes." And I was already using it. I was already drinking out of it. So, I said, okay, and didn't tell him I'm already drinking out of it because I needed a glass of water. So then I went back into the room, and that's when then he got out of bed and stood with the same stance that his dad and some of these government people would have over in the corner of the room, and like across from me when I was in the bed, sitting on the bed. And he made sure I was watching, and then he dropped this condom onto the floor while holding his penis out, and the exact same way that these government men used to do when they were basically demanding a blowjob from me, but I was supposed to, but they'd try to make it look like they weren't demanding anything, and but they programmed me to do what they wanted me to do, or else they would torture me. And so he started to do that. He did that. He pulled one of these government stunts on me, and I can explain more exactly what that was in the next video, but I'll probably do that tomorrow, because right now I really just don't even feel like turning on that light over there, because I'm done talking about what I'm going to talk about tonight.